Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today I'm here with my December wrap-up and January TBR. December was a pretty good reading month for me, and that is mainly because I was scrambling to finish my 50 books for 2014 for my Goodreads challenge. Now, I didn't quite make it. I did read 48 books. However, I also read Les Miserables this month, and I feel like that should count as like 4 books. So in my mind, I won the challenge. Okay, so I finished 8 books this month. The first one was Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I am not going to say much about this. I really loved it. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. But I also did a longer video talking about this book in depth. So I will link that below and you guys can check it out if you want to hear more about Les Miserables. The next book I listened to on audio, and that was The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. This was a free book for Audible members as kind of a gift in December. It, I think, was only about an hour and a half maybe, which is why I wanted to listen to it. No, but I also liked the idea of checking out an older fairy tale. It's also what Frozen was loosely based on, so I kind of wanted to read it for that reason. I saw Frozen, and I was pretty, most people either like really love or really hate that movie. I'm somewhere in the middle. I mean, it was kind of a fun movie. Anyway, The Snow Queen was a pretty fun read. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really don't understand how Frozen is based on the Snow Queen. I mean, it feels like a very loose kind of adaptation. Adaptation? I don't even know. I wouldn't call it an adaptation. Anyway, Snow Queen was a fun sort of winter fairy tale read. The next book I also listened to on audio, and that was Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is hilarious, and I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm a big fan of Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and Ellen and really just any funny women. Anyway, if you really liked Tina Fey's book, Bossy Pants, you should definitely check out Yes Please, because it's very much in that same vein. Amy Poehler goes through and talks about, her life and her experiences. She talks about being on SNL and Parks and Recreation, different things like that. It's very entertaining. It's very funny. The audiobook has a bunch of really fun guest readers, so I would definitely recommend checking that out. The next book that I read in December was My True Love Gave to Me, a collection of short stories edited by Stephanie Perkins. I really loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I also did a longer video talking about this book in more detail. I will link that down below if you want to check it out. I go through and talk about each of the 12 stories in that video, but I definitely enjoyed reading this one. Now, you can tell that I was really scrambling to finish any book I could and put it on my Goodreads, because the next book that I read is a cookbook, and it's all about healthy, slow cooking by Linda Larson. It's very short, and, it's pretty good. If you want to learn about healthy, slow cooking, I would recommend picking it up. It has some recipes that are a lot of fun. 4 out of 5 stars. Can't complain. Then I listened to The Deep Blue Goodbye by John D. MacDonald on audio. I got this book as one of those Audible sales where I tend to just try new things and buy random books that look interesting. But I think I should have probably read more reviews on this one, because I really didn't like it at all. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I don't know that I would have even finished it if I hadn't been trying to make my Goodreads goal. And it was only like 4 hours on audio. but it just wasn't. I mean, it was written decently, but it was a mystery kind of thriller book from the 60s, and it was just very misogynistic. All of the female characters were just very weak and very victim-esque. The main male character was annoying. The way he talked about women was kind of gross and sexist. It just wasn't a book that I enjoyed at all. The next book that I read in December is Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. This was the monthly selection in the Book Hunters group on Goodreads. I will leave a link to that down below if you want to check that out. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed reading it. It's a YA fantasy that's set in a fictional world that's a lot like Russia. It's about an orphan girl named Elena. I think that's how you say that. And she discovers that she actually has secret powers. And then she's taken to the royal court to be trained to be a member of the Grisha. Pretty sure that's how you say that. But that is the kind of magical elite class of people, and they're led by this kind of mysterious figure called the Darkling. It's very engaging. It moves pretty quickly, and I enjoyed the characters. This is the first book in a trilogy, I believe. I have ordered the second one from Book Outlet, and I'll definitely be continuing. The last thing I read in December was A Study in Emerald by Neil Gaiman. I listened to this on audiobook. Technically, this is a short story. It's sort of an homage to Sherlock Holmes. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite thing I've ever read. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. But I mean, it was, it was well written. And I mean, I really loved Sherlock Holmes. I especially love the BBC show Sherlock. Kind of obsessed with that lately. So it wasn't really the style. I don't know. I'm not really sure why I didn't totally love it. Maybe I kind of felt like if I wanted to read Sherlock Holmes, I would just go and read Sherlock Holmes. Like, I didn't feel like he was doing maybe anything that different with it, but I probably could have given it more attention, though. I almost think I need to reread this or re-listen to it, so I might give it another shot sometime. So I have a few things on my January TBR. First of all, I want to finish the books that I'm currently reading. The first one is Time Alive by Alexandra Stoddard. This is a sort of new age book about managing your time wisely and being more productive and meaningful about your life. It's kind of a nice little New Year's read. The next book that I'm reading on ebook is Pantomime by Laura Lamb. Anyway, I started this book and I really liked it. I wanted to finish it in December. That didn't happen. But I actually heard about this book from Luce of Things Lucy Reads. So it's the first book that I read strictly because I heard about it on BookTube. It's about this teenage runaway named Micah Gray who joins the circus, but then the reader discovers that there's actually a lot more to Micah. The book deals with some kind of transgender issues, and I don't think that we see enough LGBT characters in YA, so it's nice to read from that. Also, I really enjoy books about the circus. I really loved The Night Circus, and this has kind of the same vibe so far. So definitely going to finish that one. I also really want to get around to reading Days of Blood and Starlight by Lanny Taylor this month. And the next book that I really want to get around to reading this month is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is one of those classics that I somehow never read, so I'm really excited to finally pick it up. And those are all the books that I have on my TBR for January. I'm sure I will pick up more books than just those 4, hopefully. Alright, so that's it for me. I hope your 2015 is going pretty well so far. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, or if you want to read any of them. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.